Hello guys and welcome to another Daily Fix with me, Sean Paul Johnston, here at the SmallFryUnify studio. Today, just a really quick update for the channel. I wanted to let you guys know what's happening before I go on. And well, as you know, I'm moving stuff here. You can see all the stuff's all packed up. Quite interesting when you see it all packed up. There's quite a lot of stuff. There's more stuff up in where I'm moving the stuff to. So yeah, getting that sorted out. But I'm actually off work for a few days, so I've got a little bit more time to get this done now. So over the next few days, probably the weekend, I've got 4 days to try and get as much of this stuff away as possible. Things like this table or the camera gear. However, there is some stuff getting left behind that Lindsay's going to use for some of her channel stuff. So I've just got to make sure I take what I need to take and leave the other bits. But yeah, you guys know there's been loads of news over the last week. I've not done anything from Monday, we're obviously Wednesday now. I did want to cover the news, but I thought, you know, because I'm kind of moving around and doing stuff, it'd be a little bit sporadic, so I kind of just left it. But just letting you guys know that I'm still here and I'm going to get stuff done. So if you're wondering what's happening, like tonight, we're not going to have a live stream tonight, carrying on with Farpoint with Lindsay. We're leaving that until I get the stuff moved. And then I've got things like, you can't see it, but I've got the green screens over there somewhere. It was on the wall on that wall there, but I've had to take it down. So once I get to the new place, I'll get that set up, see where I'm putting everything, check the camera angles, and then we should be good to go. And what's really cool about it is the setup that I'm going to have when I get to a new place. Yeah, I've got a bit less space, but I'll actually be able to set it up maybe a little bit better than what I've maybe been able to set it up here, because I'm probably going to get rid of some of the things. I've got some of the excess things that is on shelves, for instance. Like I've got the Pip-Boy for Fallout 4. Probably going to get rid of some of those kind of things, just sell them to free up some money for buying things for the studio, for gear and equipment. But it means I'll have still some cool stuff on display, but just less of it. But it means I can maybe focus things on the area. So before, where I used to stand over there and you would see that display unit with the posters above it, instead that's where I'll probably put the computer. So I would do presenting from in front of that. But it means I can have a separate area for the green screen, so when Lindsay's doing her stream or I'm doing my stream, for instance, I can sit there and have the green screen, or Lindsay can stand there and have the green screen, and we can edit that out so it looks nice and cool, like we did in the last version of Farpoint. So yeah, it's looking pretty cool. Just today, I think we had the Nintendo showcase, Nindy's showcase, which was really cool. Got to see a No More Heroes game that's coming to the Switch in 2018, I think it is, by Sudo51. Looks pretty cool. Bit further away than what I thought. I thought he'd maybe have something this year, but loads of content coming anyway. There's news that Rigs on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation VR, that is going to be a free game coming soon. Glad I never bought the thing, getting it for free now potentially. So I'll maybe give that a shot and try it out. And yeah, just generally loads of other stuff. Loads of VR news that I want to cover as well. As I said to you guys, I'm going to start maybe doing a little bit more focus on some VR stuff. One of the things I want to do with the channel when I get stuff set up and settled down again is I want to get some stuff done for VR and augmented reality, where I'm covering more the benefits and the potential benefits of those technologies and how we can change people's experiences and lives, essentially. So things like we saw on the BBC News, where they were talking about the game where it was helping people with Alzheimer's, I think it was, and they could play the game and it worked out. It could basically detect things early to see where the problems were when it started, meaning they could treat it earlier. So I want to cover much more stuff like that, where it's got a potential benefit for people in general. You know, I think it's great covering the game content, and that's enjoyable, but you know, we've covered so many games and we've all played so many games, and I'll still keep doing that, but I just want to put a little bit more time aside for covering these potential technologies, like I said, that are going to change the world. Not even potentially, they are changing the world, and they're going to change the world. And I think it's important. It's like I've been following them from about 20 years when I first tried VR. Well, in fact, probably longer than that, when I was about 12 years old. I've been following VR since way back then. And to watch it progress from Lucky Palmer, anyway, from the Oculus Rift's conception on Kickstarter and seeing it develop on a commercial level to the point we're at now, where we're getting on mobile phones. We've got Apple jumping into the game with AR kit. We've also got Google now coming in with their one, and all the other companies jumping on board. Really, really cool. I got speaking to a guy on Facebook today, a guy called Kevin Lee. So Kevin, if you're watching this, they've got a head-mounted display that's 4K, I think it is, a 4K head-mounted display that I've contacted them to see if I can get a demo unit. He's going to send me some details through about the actual technology. I don't know if they've got demo units without buying something, which I'm not going to be doing. I'm just kind of hoping they'd send me something that we could test out, do a feature in it, and then send it back. So if they have got that, then hopefully we'll be able to get something in the studio and cover it and let you guys know what the experience is like before it maybe goes commercial. So yeah, I want to start covering much more stuff like that. Morally Bankrupt Cactus just says, what do you think of this new True 3D sound? I'll have to check that out. Is this something that's new? I've not checked it out, but I'll look into that. But all of this stuff, all the virtual reality stuff and the stuff that goes around it, like the aural projection of the sound. BBC done stuff like this a little while ago where they were doing it on their, what's it called, Click, BBC Click. And some of it was really, really cool. But yeah, having that sort of surround sound that you can move around people and it feels real. I've actually sampled some of that even on a very simple setup because you can do it quite well if it's done properly. And it's freakily good. So pairing that with VR and or augmented reality even, it's an interesting one. There's things with like VR and augmented reality that, you know, I get in conversations with people about this quite a lot. You know, I think there's like a big emphasis now on AR, augmented reality, because that's what Apple seems to be jumping in with. And obviously we've got Leap that's doing their version that's been kind of secret, hidden a bit. I talked about it before. That's kind of hidden. Nobody knows exactly what that is, but we've got ideas that it's maybe using light field or light waves. Right now they're using a different like type. So the potential for that if they do it right. But yeah, it's like I'm kind of more on the fence where I don't see one massively doing better than another one. I think like virtual reality is going to be a kind of, maybe not a niche, it's going to be like a mass consumer thing, but that's going to be solely focused on the really immersive side of gaming experiences where you really want to believe you're there. That's what virtual reality is for. And I think augmented reality is going to stand separate in many cases, and that's going to be about improving your normal day-to-day life where you can superimpose things or augment things onto your normal day-to-day going. So things like the IKEA augmented reality program where you can look at a space and it can measure the space and you can check furniture in your living room. I think that kind of stuff is really beneficial. It just saves people a lot of work. That's separate though. I think gaming and experiences that are immersive is definitely going to be separate from the augmented reality. And there will be crossovers as well where you can have augmented reality, you can lift up your headset, blah, blah, blah. So there will be crossovers, but I think they're still two separate technologies. And I think they are both still going to stand separate from 2D gaming. When I say 2D gaming, I mean playing it on like a normal screen, so playing it on a TV or something. So I think there's going to be different sections. I don't think it's going to be normal gaming's going out and that's going to disappear because we're going to have virtual reality or vice versa. We're going to have augmented reality, so virtual reality is going to disappear. I think we're going to end up with several different fields that are going to be super important across the board, and there's going to be masses preferring one or the other, and we're probably going to end up using all of them together. We're probably going to be playing games for normal type stuff where people can't use VR, for instance. We're going to have people that want the truly immersive that can set it up in their areas, can afford that kind of stuff and get the full immersion. And then we're going to have augmented reality. It's going to be really easy to get access to just through smartphones and personal devices. I just want to live in the matrix. Yeah, don't we all? I love how VR, Morley says on the chat, I love how VR is getting more affordable now, more consumer friendly prices. Exactly. You know, I think it's only going to come down, the technology is only going to get better. I said this when it came to like the iPad. If you look back 10 years ago when the first iPhone pretty much came out, and you look at the technology that was in that to the technology we've got in the upcoming phones or even the current generation phones, it's such an increase, it's incredible. And that's only been in 10 years. If you look at the iPad, it's even less, it's like 6 years or something. And you look where that's come from, where we've had not even like HD or Retina displays, and we've not had things like cameras built into them. They were much thicker, the battery life was... Now we've got things that are lasting 10 hours, which is pretty impressive, that's got HD cameras on the front and the back. We've got super high definition screens. We've got augmented reality coming. We've got touch displays. You know, that stuff's becoming unbelievably cheap and more advanced technology wise. So it's very easy to see that in the next like 5 years, where VR can go. You know, to get to a point where, and this is where I think like the Switch is going to go, get to a point where you've got a personal device that can do everything, like a mobile phone that's super powerful, maybe using something like sub 10 nanometer processor or technology, the fabrication of the chips, where it can be so small, so power efficient, and cheap to manufacture, that you can have such technology in such a small device that you can do all this stuff for. If you want to use it for virtual reality, you just plug it into a headset, or you put a headset on and you connect it up with a cable. I think that's really where it's going, by the way. I think this is what Leap, or Magic Leap, or whatever it's called, they're going to do with their one. You know, their prototype device was a headset that had a cable running down to a processing box that attached to your side or to your belt. And I think that is really the best way to do it. I think having your tech separate from the headset to avoid the weight and the processing having to be fit in there with optics. Just have the optics be as good as they can, and have this area as light as possible, and have your processing in your phone or in your personal device. And then that way you can focus all the tech down there, and it's just a cable that runs and shows you the actual visuals or the audio. So I think that's where we're going. I think that's where Nintendo Switch has potentially got a chance of doing VR. You know, someone found some code in the Nintendo Switch code that was talking about VR and mentioned VR, and people keep saying on a 720p screen it'll look terrible. Stop thinking a 720p screen. It can do 1080p just like the PlayStation VR, which is good enough. It's not the best, but it's good enough. And I think what Nintendo could potentially do is they could have the actual Switch itself as a separate device on a belt running up to a display, and that's just for the optics and the audio, and that can be done with a 1080p. And it's just, what you would do is when it connects up, it does what it does when it's in the dock. It recognises it and puts it to 1080p. So that's what you could potentially have. Whether it's good or not, you could also add some tech into the headset, so you can maybe boost the actual processing capabilities, and that's where you could do that. But anyway, guys, just wanted to let you know as a quick sort of kind of update for this. I say a quick update, it's been about 10 minutes now, but I wanted to let you guys know what was happening. I'll try and jump in over the next couple of days, maybe over the weekend. I still want to do some more gaming myself with the Star Trek Bridge Crew, or Bridge Commander, whatever the hell it's called. I've got it there actually. Anyway, I want to do more of that stuff, so I want to jump back in. I really need to get myself a captain shirt for Star Trek so I can play it, and when I stream I can maybe put some like space stuff or the ship behind me. It'd be really quite cool. Anyway guys, thanks for joining. Jump in the comments and let me know what you think of some of the stuff, your thoughts on it. I know Jiv jumped in on the last video and we were talking about the new headset from Acer. That's the Microsoft one, where it's got the Microsoft hand grips that look like the Oculus Touch, but it's using inside-out tracking, so it's a little bit different from where the cameras are outside. This one's now tracking, and we're sort of kind of saying that we're not quite sure how good it's going to be, because as soon as you move those controllers out of view, the headset where the tracking optics are, or where the cameras are, as soon as you move them out and obscure it with your body by moving, how good is the tracking going to be? Jeff seems to think that there might be some sort of kind of leap technology in there, so leap motion technology where it can sense your hands, and maybe that's something that'll be an additional thing when you've got it connected up to a computer. It'll be interesting to see, but that stuff's getting there. We're getting there with cool gear. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think of it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. So stay tuned to Facebook and Twitter. Remember, the best way you can help me right now is by subscribing if you're not subscribed, and giving the videos a thumbs up. If you've not checked out some of the other ones, I've got in the comments the ones for the Technify video with Lindsay and Andrew. That was for the Logitech G413 mechanical gaming keyboard. Check that stuff out, give it a thumbs up, leave some comments what you think about it. Do you have a better keyboard? Is there a keyboard you'd recommend over that, or you think would be better, a better price, a better type of keyboard? Do you work with keyboards, mechanical ones, and do you think the Cherries are better than the Romer G keys? That kind of stuff. Leave me some comments about it, and I will catch you guys as soon as I can. Remember, we're just a bunch of small fries trying to create big things, and thank you for watching.